Back in the early days of COVID, almost 800,000 Canadians applied for mortgage deferrals. So the Canadian Mortgage and Housing Corporation, CMHC, warned us that many people might be unable to pay back their mortgages upon deferral expiry. As a result, we may see streets filled with foreclosure signs, and CMHC forecasted a huge housing price drop, possibly up to 18% over a 12-month period. Now that we're in 2021, over 93% of the mortgage deferrals have expired. Opposite to the forecast, the housing market across Canadian cities has been booming, especially so in Toronto, with sales activity up 64.5%, an average price up 11.2% in December 2020 compared to a year ago. It is pretty obvious that we won't be falling off that mortgage deferral cliff. So why didn't it happen? Why was the forecast way off? The chief economist at the CMHC explained the situation with two key reasons earlier this week. Before I go into his first reason, let me share something with you. Back in April last year, I had a video that got the most dislikes ever. It was a video digging deep into the job loss report. Which occupations do you think got the hardest hit? That's right, sales and service occupations. Example, restaurant and retail store workers. These occupations accounted for 61.8% of the overall unemployment. Jobs in this occupational group are relatively low paid. That means the workers who are first to lose their jobs are the least able to withstand economic hardship. In general, professional occupations are much less likely to be affected. The ability to just work from home is also a big factor why these occupations are pretty much unaffected. Now that we gained insight into the detail of the unemployment, it actually makes sense why home prices are expected to remain stable. All the massive job losses are definitely very sad. But objectively speaking, people who suffered the most from the job losses are people who are unlikely to buy and sell real estate. Back then, many people disliked what I said and left negative comments. Some said that it was a biased analysis because I'm a real estate broker. Some said it was simply laughable because it is so obvious that the market was going to crash. Maybe they really wish the market to crash. Anyway, so why hasn't the mortgage deferral crashed the market? Let's hear reason number one from the CMHC chief economist, the job loss demographic. When we looked at COVID-related job losses, it became evident that they were focused in lower paying jobs in things like accommodation and the food service industries. These were significantly more affected than the higher paying professional jobs that were more adaptable to remote working. So a lot of these job losses were predominantly at income level that didn't impact homeowners. That's what he said just a few days ago. The reality is that the pandemic hasn't financially impacted all Canadians equally. And it really doesn't look there will be a significant number of power of sales due to mortgage defaults. The mortgage deferrals could be applied due to uncertainty and not necessity. You see, 80% of people would get hit by this pandemic, and 20% of the people will actually benefit from it. That's why you hear the term K-shaped recovery. The rich get richer, and the poor get poorer. Now, let's get to reason number two. Significant increase in savings. The household saving rate, the amount that's left over after all expenses, was 2% or lower in Canada before the downturn. It shot up to 27.5% in the second quarter. So you have this pandemic going on with massive job losses, but incomes actually shot up and people save a lot of their income. There was nowhere to spend that money due to lockdowns. At the end of the day, households built up a significant amount of savings. Disposable income did come down a little bit in the third quarter, but it was decreasing from historical high levels, and the savings rate was still 14.6% in this time period. This was exactly what I talked about in the Cash is King episode back in October. You see, the pandemic kills a lot of jobs, and people had no money to spend. And for people who still have their jobs, they have nowhere to spend their money. Did you realize that you saved a lot of money because you can't go out to eat? And you have to scrap that big vacation in Europe. So money circulation was significantly reduced and the economy was pretty dead. You see, in order to stimulate the economy, the government needs to create that cash flow so money starts circulating around again. How does the government do that? By printing more money. They print money and give it to people who lost their jobs. Now they can spend the money and start that circulation again. That's why some industries are actually booming, like Amazon, supermarkets, delivery-related industries. The government prints money and give it to the bank so people can borrow money at very low cost. Qualified people can then have more money to invest. Say they buy real estate and that creates construction jobs, so the construction workers now have more money to spend. And money starts circulating again. That's how our economy is going to recover with that cash flow creation. Of course, nothing comes for free, and there is a price to pay. You see, a large amount of money is printed and injected into the economy to create that circulation. But our economic output cannot increase at the same rate as the money injection. So there is more money chasing the same amount of goods. What does that mean? More demand, less supply. Price go up. That's inflation. And the cash you have on hand is going to worth less and less. It depreciates. I just want to reiterate the same message to you again because it is becoming clear that the effect of money printing is going to kick in. If you don't take action now and put your money into assets, it is going to depreciate. So make sure you spend time to plan out your investment in 2021. If you need help, you can schedule a call with me at the link below in the description. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you smash that subscribe button and hit the bell now so you stay on top of the market.